Hello, this is PoppinCulture. My guest today is Kirkland Manning. Thank you so much for coming on to the podcast.
Oh, thanks for having me, buddy.
No problem. Kirkland is one of the funniest comedians I know from Greenville, South Carolina. He also does shows all around the South. If you get a chance, definitely check out Kirkland. Super hilarious guy. The topic he chose to discuss on the podcast is 80s music and how it's influenced pop culture. But before we do that, whenever I have a comedian on, I like to ask the question. A lot of people focus on like bombing and doing bad, but I'm more focused on succeeding. So when was the first time you killed and how did it feel?
Oh man. Um, I still don't know if I've killed yet, but I think the either the third or fourth time I went up, I remember there was one guy in the audience who I just said before I went up, I was like, I just want to make that guy laugh. Like if I could make this guy laugh, that would be like the best thing ever. And I got a lot of laughs and I looked up and he was laughing and I actually pointed it out and I was like, I'll be honest with you, you're the only person I wanted to make laugh. So tonight's already. And then, that got a bit of ovation too. So I don't know. It felt incredible, man. It was the best thing in the world. Best feeling I've ever had for sure.
Nice,
Very
nice,
accomplished. Yeah.
nice. Does anything compare to that feeling? Anything you've done before?
Oh man. No, it really doesn't. Like nothing comes to mind. It's its own thing that's like so hard to describe to people. I've tried to, but it's just impossible. I mean, yeah, it's the best feeling in the world for sure.
Nice, nice. So what got you into comedy?
Man, I mean, ever since I was little, I was like 8 years old, and I watched, that movie Doctor Doolittle, the one with Eddie Murphy in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I watched that movie, and there was like some like behind the scenes stuff, kind of like some commentary about Eddie Murphy, and they said like all these other movies he'd been in, and then they showed Delirious, like a clip from it, and it was
Mhm.
about the doing the ice cream truck thing in Delirious, and
Yeah.
I was like, what is that? Like, it's just him standing there, like just talking and making people laugh. And then I actually found it, like my grandmother had it on VHS, and so I grabbed it and I put it in, and nobody knew I watched the whole thing. I was 8 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know half the words he's saying, but I know they're not good. But I also know everybody's dying laughing. I was like, that's what I want to do one day. So like that was the biggest thing.
Okay. Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Um, do you try to when you do your stand up, do you see anybody that you feel like influenced you, or do you feel like everything you do is like just you?
Man, that's a good question actually. I was talking about this with somebody recently. Um yeah, it's hard because sometimes I feel like I'm doing somebody else and like one joke and then another one. It's you kind of feed off other people you've seen and you take the bits you like and you don't retell a joke they've told, but you try to like get their rhythm or something sometimes, or the way they tell a story, their mannerisms. And
Exactly.
yeah, but you try to make it you while also incorporating some things you've seen. And yeah, so I guess that's what makes it you, is that you're not doing one person, you're taking bits from several different people.
I I would tell you for me, I had to like stop watching comedy. Like I watch my friends because like whatever tags I can give them, I'll give them a tag. And of course, I
Right.
want to, I want to, help them do better. But for me, like when it comes to a big comedian, I have to like people have to tell me to watch because
Yeah.
I never, I never want to have a thought that's not my own, and I never want to take a mannerism because I've definitely caught myself. I forgot the comedian's name, but I saw him. He's a funny guy, but after every joke, he does this, and I caught myself do it, and I was like, "This isn't me. Why would I? I'm not the finger point guy. I don't know.
At the point. Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
work when
That's
I do it. That's
right.
yeah.
And
So
it's like, what if I see a comedian go on stage, and sometimes they might not mean to do it, but anytime I see somebody take that microphone and they tell a joke and then they slap it against their knee, I go, that's Dave Chappelle. Like it takes me out of it a little bit. So I'm like, that's like too specific. But like sometimes you do it and you're not even thinking about it. But I saw one guy go up and he did it like 8 times in a 5 minute set. I was like, that's too many times to be slamming the microphone against your knee as your own joke that nobody else is laughing at.
well, yeah, that makes it different. That makes
Yeah,
it different.
right.
You're the only person laughing. I
Yeah.
it's like I want to give it to Dave because he's definitely the latest person to do it. But you're right. You're right. I want to go with
I
Bill. I want to go with Bill Bellamy just because I've seen him do it, but
okay.
like a long time ago. But like if
You're
you
right.
had to go with now, it would definitely look like Dave because Dave does it. The most famous to do it. So
Right. Yeah. And he gives it the like the head down, bam, and
yeah,
then he puts it. No, that's what that guy was doing. I just kept going, like it's a little too much right there. But
yeah,
yeah, man. I agree with you. You just don't want to take too much from people like that.
yeah. Especially
That
when they're
finger.
not funny.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That finger point thing's hilarious, though.
I caught myself. I was like, this is not what I do. I looked at my finger mid joke and I was like, who's this?
That's
Uh,
great, man.
nice man. But like I said, thank you again for coming on, man. So why'd you choose 80s music, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh man. My parents, both of them, I mean, that's all we listened to growing up. It was like on loop. I didn't know that there was new music until I was probably 12, 13 years old. Cause I mean, that's just all we listened to. So I'd love it.
Your
I
house was
mean,
like your house was like a time capsule.
I know, man. It's crazy. Cause I mean, my parents are pretty young. They were born in 73. So it's not even like by the time they were 16, 17, 18 years old, it was already the 90s. But I think they just took those few years growing up and they were like, this is it. Like nothing's going to beat
Apparently, they
apparently.
they heard beat it and they were like, "This is it."
Yeah, that was it. Like Purple Rain, and then that was over.
Yeah.
It was just Purple Rain every day.
Okay. Um. So when it comes to 80s music in general, what do you think it made different up to that time point? Like, how do you think music like transferred like the noise? Like,
It's a good question. So I would say, well, you got the 70s and they went through their whole disco thing, and then there's like that rock, but it's kind of like soft rock. And then the 80s, everything got louder and more in your face, I think, and a little bit more the style. And then you had the, MTV and the music videos and stuff. And it wasn't just sound, it was also, it changed people's appearance. Like you would see how Michael Jackson dressed in the Thriller video, and then all of a sudden you're watching Beverly Hills Cop and there's a guy wearing the same, and then even Eddie Murphy's wearing the same leather jacket. And I think a lot of today was heavily influenced from the 80s. I mean, people still go back now and take certain things and try to incorporate in today's fashion and the sound. I mean, it's pretty similar. Like the music I like now, the rap music and the hip hop music, the ones that I like the most sound a lot like the hip hop music from the 80s.
nice, nice, nice. Since we're on rap, do you feel like the 80s, this is where autotune became famous?
It's funny because maybe you could tell me better, but I feel like in the 80s the auto tune was mostly for like, I don't even know, like the white, like sing, I don't even know how I'm trying to describe this.
Hey, Kirkland, you, I know you just graduated college, buddy, but when you say I could tell you better, I was born in 92.
Oh man, I think you probably have the you got more knowledge than
Oh,
I do when
okay.
it
Okay. I thought we were
so,
going by age. I was like, no, I was not
oh,
alive for this.
I'm not trying to come on here and insult you in
No, you
your
weren't
own podcast.
insulting. You weren't insulting me. I was just like, hey, let me tell him how old I am before we continue. Like asking me, like, how was Prince album when it first came out? Like,
How was that received?
yeah. Which
So
Michael
like
Jackson album did you like more? Like,
you only had 3 channels? It was something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. That big
Like,
TV, yeah, that big TV was mine.
yeah. The static came on late at night. There were no more channels.
Exactly. That national anthem played, and we were like, all right, time to go to bed. Uh, if
Man,
so, I don't know how much of a pop culture nerd or music, whatever I call it, but
yeah,
when it comes to artists like we mentioned Michael Jackson, Prince, and just throwing out another one from that was famous from that time, um, Freddie Mercury or Queen. When you
sure, yeah,
hear like the way they sing And you know, there's a lot of songs they had to like stretch notes out to the point where they did injure their lungs. I
Right.
found out,
Yeah.
I did research. Do you feel like that was the first time we've seen that, or do you think that was something that carried on from like the '70s and back?
Man, I think that actually probably did start in the '70s a little bit with that, like with like that disco stuff. I remember that was that "Let's Groove Tonight."
Okay,
You know, that
you're right.
beginning
Yeah.
goes burn, go burn. You could tell somebody doing it to an audio tune through an audio tune, and it's
Yep.
making this certain. I think it started with the '70s, and
Right.
that like funk like went into the '80s, and then I don't know. I think T-Pain is the only person that stands out to me as being famous for auto tune, like when it
Oh
first,
yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And before, I'm not even sure like if anybody was really famous for it.
The only person that comes to mind is Rick James, and there's only like three
Uh,
songs.
nice, yeah, okay, yeah, definitely, definitely, yeah. But yeah, man, the audio tune thing, that's a crazy thing. Like you can get famous for not being a good singer. Just,
Exactly.
I mean, it's crazy.
Every time I hear it, man, I'm just like, why am I clocking in to go to work? Like,
Right. Yeah.
if this is
Exactly.
all I got to do.
Right. And Post Malone, I mean, I like Post Malone
He
all
can
right,
sing
but
without it, though, believe it or not.
that's true. That, you know what? That's a good point.
I
He
got
can
to
sing.
see him when he was a country singer, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
It blows my mind, man.
Where'd you see him at?
It's a place in Houston called, I think it's called Dine Light or Night Dine. It's a small
Yeah.
little bar, but like, yeah, I got to see him when he was doing a bunch of Bob Dylan covers
Oh, without the face tattoos?
without face tattoos. Like it was, but he could sing. He could sing, and
Yeah.
I do not. I believe it was his real. He was going by his real name, but this is like over like 9 years ago, I believe.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
like he was, but he could sing. Like he was. I knew he did Bob Dylan covers, and I think he did Johnny Cash covers. But he put
That
on
makes,
a. He did a great like for that little bar in the middle of just Houston. Like he did a good job.
that's
Um,
awesome. I don't doubt it. I mean, you're right. He can definitely sing on his own.
yeah, even T Pain surprised me. I found out he could sing. I went to see him I think back in 2009 or 2008, and he did it for the crowd, and then he went right back to Autotune, like, hey, just so you know, I can do this, but this doesn't pay the bills or whatever he said.
Right. Right. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. How famous he got. I mean, I'm sure that wasn't his plan. I mean, I'm sure he wanted to let people know he can actually sing, but then one day he just did that, and everybody's like, "Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, he started with I'm Sprung, and he was like, you know what, let's keep the album like this.
Let's keep it going like that."
Mm.
Hey, speaking of that, I don't know why it's reminded me. What happened to Akon?
He became a billionaire off oil and diamonds.
Is that what it was? Because
He owns a city. He's building a city in Africa called Akon City or Acorn City, I believe. But yeah, he bought like 5 miles of Africa land, and he's building his own like Wakanda.
I was about to say, man, are you just messing with me, or is this like some kind of start of a Marvel movie? This is crazy. What is he doing?
He's worth in American money. I'm not sure what he's worth, but in Africa, he's worth close to 2 billion.
Jesus Christ.
But he got famous off of. I mean, he got rich off of music. Okay, the way I was told, Akon got rich off Lady Gaga because he was the person that found Lady Gaga, put her on. He got like 60%, sold that to Universal. Then I guess she bought it from Universal. But he got rich literally off Lady Gaga. And that's how he was able to put money in oil. Then he owned a diamond mine, and now um I forgot he's been rich for a long time. I put it like this,
That's crazy, man.
but in Africa he's worth billions. I know that.
Jeez, man.
But yeah,
That
he bought five
that's the
miles, and he's gonna build his own city.
that's the dream right there, man. He's doing it right.
Yeah, he's one of the few people that when he says like, "Yeah, I just bought a diamond mine and it's doing well," where like the interviewer was like, I think it was Ebro. It's like some guy in New York. The guy interviewed him was just like, "Well, I was going to actually buy the next album, but that's stupid. Uh, we don't need. We went from locked up to that kind of money. So
I mean, yeah, you went from locked up to hey, come visit my town sometime. I bought it with my diamond mine money.
yeah, like he should be
That's
finished in
he's he's
2027.
he's playing Minecraft in real life.
Yes. Yeah.
He literally went diamond mining and then build his own city.
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah.
That's great. Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, man. From a guy that did 2 years in jail to a billionaire. Yeah, like you. This is some real like I don't know. I can't compare it to anybody. I can't name a Wolf of Wall Street. Maybe I don't know.
I wonder what he's going to name, like the street names are going to. It's going to be Smack That Avenue, and then there's Don't Matter Boulevard, and
I'm so
then
lonely. Drive.
yeah, I'm so paid.
Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah,
real.
that's going to
So
be awesome. Soul
yes,
Survivor. Nice.
nice. Um, but yeah, man. When it comes to let's give example one song, "Take on Me," by a
Okay.
band called Aha.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that dint dint. I can't do it. You know what song I'm talking about. Hopefully,
Yeah. Talking
yeah,
about yeah.
yeah. That noise and that kind of when you hear it, you think of the '80s. Is there
Yeah.
any other song like that that when you hear it, you think of the '80s?
Absolutely. I mean, I could tell you a few. Um, I'm trying to think of a perfect one, like the most '80s song, but the one that just pops in my mind is like Billie Jean
Yeah,
and and like Little Red Corvette. For some reason, those are like the first two that pops in my head. I see Michael Jackson and Prince were like I actually personally I listen to them like in the car by myself when I'm driving to work. Like that's what's on in my earbuds all the time. Like I love that music.
can I ask you
Um,
one quick question? I do not mean to
yeah,
make you lose thought, and this is just a real question that I love to ask people because I'm a Michael Jackson fan too.
yeah,
Off the Wall or Thriller?
man, that's a incredible. You know what's funny? I watched a documentary recently about Off the Wall, and it made me change my mind because I love Thriller, best selling album of all time until like recently. I think somebody surpassed it actually, but
Really? Okay.
I'm pretty sure somebody did recently. I might be
It's
wrong
probably
on that.
Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Um, Man, I'm gonna say Thriller because that's the first one that I heard and I loved. But Off the Wall is unreal. But that's the '70s.
I end up going with Thriller too, but I love Off the Wall with a passion. Like I do.
Good.
Like it's like I want to like always go with it, but it's like Quincy
I want,
Jones did his thing.
yeah, I wanna rock with you all night. Yeah, I love that stuff, man.
Yeah,
I love it. It's like my favorite music.
yeah. A fun fact: when I was doing my research about the band Aha,
Yeah,
believe it or not, and I've heard the slower version is the fast version that was famous. Then they made a slow version. They made a
yeah,
slow version first, but the studio made them release the faster version. And
yeah,
believe it or not, have you seen Deadpool 2?
yeah, yeah.
They played a slow version.
Oh, did they?
Hmm?
Man, now
And
I'm gonna have to
like,
go.
and after hearing the slow version, hearing the lyrics, I could see how, oh, this was definitely meant to be a slow song.
Oh,
I could see why. Plus, that's still one of the best music videos of all time.
oh, absolutely. And you know what? Which one do you like better? The slow version or the fast one?
I got some pussy to the slow version.
Oh, oh. So the second one then, the slow version, that's the
Yeah,
one you want. Yeah.
yeah, cause
Yeah.
just because I ain't never got no pussy to the fast version, so I never. I was
It's
like,
kind of hard. It's kind of hard. The slow one, it'll last a little longer. That fast one, it's just too, it'd be over too quick. So yeah, I guess the slow version's best. That can set the mood.
yes, yes. We
That's all.
talked, yes, we talked about a lot of male singers, but how did you feel about the female singers at that time, like Tina Turner and
Oh, dude.
Linda Lauper?
Hmm.
Uh,
Dude, absolutely. Whitney Houston came out at that time too.
Yep.
Cyndi Lauper and yeah, Tina Turner. I mean, God, talk about a wild woman. I mean, she looked like she was 50 in the '80s, and she still looks the same as she did in the '80s. It's weird, but
Yeah.
she was, yeah, yeah, she was a great performer.
Mhm.
And I mean, Whitney Houston, in my opinion, has the best voice of all time. Like, I don't think it gets any better than that. I mean, yeah.
She could
I mean,
sing like that and do cocaine.
hey, she's a multitasker. I mean,
I
there's just,
mean,
I mean, she's just built different than us. I mean, it's and you can put up with Bobby and his bullshit. I mean, damn. Oh,
Gotta
Bobby
keep,
Brown really good too, and like New Edition and stuff. I
yes,
love. Yeah,
yes,
that was.
yes.
They just went down a dark path, didn't
It was my fault.
they?
Shouldn't have brought up the cocaine. I don't know why. She's a
Nah,
great.
she was
Um,
having a good time. There's nothing to be sad about. She loved
yes, yes.
it.
People love to talk about Beyonce and how great she was, but I don't think people really understand. Like Tina Turner was like that level too, in my opinion. Like everybody,
Yeah.
like when it came to a performance, I've never seen any video of Tina Turner that wasn't a great performance.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, she was like, she had that Robin Williams energy where it was just always like, and she just, everything was right where it should be, right on cue. Like this move fits in perfectly with this one. And she was, oh my God, her energy just, it makes you smile when you watch it. You can't like not smile at her because she looks like she's having a great time. Like she's actually enjoying doing it.
Yeah. Fun fact: after doing some more research, man, I think she's in her late 60s, maybe 70s. Her boyfriend, 24.
Oh man. Uh,
24.
you know what's funny? I don't think he can keep up with her, even though she's 60 something years old. I feel like she still has that energy. I feel like she needs somebody young to keep up with her.
I'm just saying, like
This,
he slips in one little baby aspirin, she'll go to sleep for the night. If she's ever say like I got not slip in, but like she be like she got a headache, like all
yeah.
right, let me give you a bit. Not slip in. I don't know why I just use that metaphor, but like if she ever just like I got a headache, he knows like all right, we going to bed early.
Yeah, we're going to bed early
Yeah,
and watching TV Land, and we're gonna fall asleep watching reruns of Everybody Loves Raymond
yeah, nothing but golden girls in that house.
and Golden Girls.
Golden girls and 227. Yeah,
227.
yeah.
Man, that's wild. I mean, I'm 25. My grandmother's 60. What would she be? 64.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's super. That's crazy weird.
Yeah.
No way.
What did you think about their hairstyles when it came to the 80s, like pop star?
Oh, it was fucked up. That's for sure. Now that's the one thing from the 80s I don't want to come back. I don't want that coming back here.
Okay.
The guys with the, what's the name of that band that sang like something about cars? Oh, I ran so far away.
Yeah.
They had like their hair was, I mean, my hair is bad too, but like it came up like this, like Wolverine's helmet, and then it was like slicked back through here, and then there was the Jerry curl phase, and then the mullets and the, what is this one, mohawks, and dude, get out of here with that.
I saw a picture of Ozzy Osbourne's hair and it just looks
Oh,
dirty. Like it just looks dirty.
that's it.
Maybe that was it. They just didn't have to wash their hair. Like
Yeah, I guess that was grungy or something. Like it was supposed to be cool to not bathe,
yeah.
but no,
Yeah.
that's not cool, man.
Yes.
Wash your hair.
Yes. Now I wanted to transfer over to um what do you think of those people entertaining now? Like I've got the chance to see Bon Jovi 3 years ago. Still puts on a good show. It's just
Mhm.
not a lot of moving. He can still sing. The songs are still sung correctly. His voice hasn't changed, but it's definitely not the same movement as a young man. Like majority of that show was him sitting down.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Man, if you love what you do, definitely go do it. And if people are still willing to pay and come out in droves to come see you, definitely do it. But I will say people are going to come expecting to see Bon Jovi's grandfather. So, I mean, you couldn't get too upset if somebody's saying, man, why is he sitting down the whole time? Because, I mean, people are going to be expecting that energy and he's going to be moving and doing stuff. But I don't know, man. That's a good question. Like, I'll be honest with you, I would never pay to go see Bon Jovi in 1985.
Okay.
I would Jovi guy, but my mom loves Bon Jovi. But that's the kind of I didn't like Bon Jovi.
You didn't like
He,
Living on a Prayer?
hey, take a hike. No, I'm not living on a prayer. I'd turn that song off every time I hear it. I don't know what it was about Bon Jovi I didn't like. Something about him just irked me.
Okay.
It didn't like he fought his way to where he was. It almost seemed like he knew, like he was friends with somebody's uncle who was a big producer, and he sang one time, and it just seemed too perfect. Like, what is this? This guy didn't struggle for anything. He just got
Yeah.
right in there.
Well, he does help feed the homeless and stuff like that. So, I'm not saying he's perfect, but he definitely,
You're right. You're right.
yeah.
Every time I try to trash somebody, they end up being like the next Gandhi.
No, 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 he's not Gandhi. No, no, no. Keep reading the story about Gandhi. You find out that guy was not as good as we thought. Like,
See, I try to do something, and then even Gandhi's fucked up. I mean, there's no perfect people anymore.
no, no, never was. I'm learning that too. Trust me, I've met a few heroes that I'm like, oh no.
Oh man, that's what they
Yeah.
say. Never
Oh,
meet your hero.
well, thank God I didn't beat Bill Cosby, man. This would have been horrible.
Yeah, dude, I love the Cosby Show. I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna watch it. I love the Cosby Show.
Oh yeah, I want everybody else to get their money. Like he can't help that he's messed up. Everybody else should get their rerun money. But like
Yeah,
I was a fan of his stand up because
of
he was
course.
clean, and
Hmm.
like besides Brandon Rainwater, Mike Goodwin, and a few other comedians I know, there's not a lot of people can be clean, and like still be funny. So
How hard is that?
they make it seem easy, man. They do, and when you talk to them about it, they're like, the money you make from it makes it pretty easy for you, and I bet so because like you can
Yeah,
church money is good money.
that's right, man. I
Hallelujah.
mean, Seinfeld. Hallelujah. That's what I'm talking about. Seinfeld is a good example of clean, and I think he's like the richest comedian ever. I'm pretty sure. I mean, most of that's from TV and stuff, but dude, I mean, you can make a lot of money being clean. I'm too lazy to write clean jokes, so I just go up there and do the filthy stuff myself. But I don't try to do anything too dirty. But I, I don't know. Like I don't even know I'm saying curses when I'm saying them on stage. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I definitely know. Like for me, it's just I want to be myself. Don't get me wrong. You put $1 million on in front of me, I can do all my jokes clean.
Yeah.
Like I can do clean jokes before I wear a dress. So yeah, like
You don't want to go the Martin Lawrence route.
I like the way. Do you know who Carlos Miller is by chance?
Oh man, I don't think I know Carlos Miller.
But he's a black man. Somebody asked him about wearing a dress, and he literally said the best way I've ever heard someone word it was, "Yo, why I gotta be the black comedian that doesn't do it? Everybody else made millions. I gotta be the one person say no to the dress. Let me make my money, and then I'll put it back in the community. I want to be the person to say no, and now I'm broke."
Dude, I mean, I totally understand. I get it. I also know what I think it was Dave Chappelle who kind of first brought it up. That at least the one that's the first time I heard it was him
Yeah.
talking about that. And I was like, that's a good point. They do. But I'm not sure if it was really this like Hollywood sadistic thing where it's like we have to put them in a dress now. I think it's just funny. Like Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, Chris Rock, I know has, and I guess him and Tyler Perry's one of the richest people in the business. And I mean, he made a living off of that. I mean, I don't think it's like this weird, like in certain moments to do it, and it
Okay.
works out.
Now do me a favor, Kirkland. You just named five people. Name five white male comedians that you know wore a dress.
Jim Carrey, Tom Hanks.
He's not a comedian.
He started as a comedian.
Tom Hanks?
Yeah, look it up. He started as a comedian.
Really?
He was he was in a movie with Sally Fields too, where he plays a stand-up comedian. And I watched the interview, and he was like, "Well, it was easy because I started as one, and then he
That
started a show."
that blew my mind. It's like finding out Tim Allen used to sell cocaine. That's cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. It's you get caught with it on an airplane, go to jail for a few years, and then you get your own TV show, and people know you as Santa Claus.
Yeah, you're moving a lot more white back then.
Yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
man. I mean, um, let me think. There's got to be a lot more than that. Um, it's easy to think of the other comedians, because those are actually like my favorites. You know what I mean? Like the guys I just named like are all like my heroes.
Nice.
I'll be honest with you, I don't watch too much white stand-up comedy, and I hate to say it, but I think it's corny. I think they're very corny.
If you get a chance, check out a comedian named Gary Owen. Then
Okay, I will definitely.
you'll definitely enjoy him.
Yeah.
But to get back to, I don't know how we got this. I'm sorry, but I bring up all these subjects. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
When it comes to 80s music in total, do you think the beginning of the decade had better music or the end of the decade had better music?
Ooh, I like the beginning. I want to say, yeah, I think Thriller came out in 83 and Purple Rain came out in like 84 or 87. Well, that's later in the decade. Anyway, like those guys were like more prominent at the very beginning. I think mid probably had just as, I think the middle. There's somewhere
Okay.
between 83 and 87 is like where I live in that music frame. It's right in there. And that's where I kind of stay.
Nice.
Now, why? Idea, but that's kind of where it is for me.
Nice. What are some of the singers that you believe influenced the singers of today from the 80s?
Oh, great question. Well, I keep bringing the names up, and Michael and Prince. Obviously, you don't have The Weeknd, Bruno, and Kanye, and Drake, and I mean, name anybody. You don't have them without them.
Oh yeah,
that's obvious.
they sampled a lot of stuff from them. Yeah,
absolutely. And then Madonna influenced people like Lady Gaga. I mean, it's almost like the same exact. It's almost like they replicated or cloned Madonna and then put her into now. You know what I mean? So that was another one. I mean, there's plenty. Absolutely.
Yes. You spoke about it earlier, but like I can't help but touch back on it. Leather. That was the decade of leather. Like
it's hard to make leather look cool, but they did.
Because it's never one outfit I saw where I was like, I should wear that. They feel comfortable. They probably look comfortable.
Right. I was more jealous that they could wear it more than I wanted to wear it and thought I would look cool in it. You know what I mean?
I know they had to make that noise everywhere they went. There, can't sneak up on nobody. I heard you, James.
Always walk around sounding like you're trying to open up a what's the little snack things kids do? The Lunchables.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to open all the time. Dude,
exactly.
that I never thought about it that way, but yeah, that would be awful. Exactly. Can never sneak up on anybody. That's awesome. Man, that was terrible.
Yeah. I brought up her name again, but I'll bring it up again. Cyndi Lauper. She has a song called Time After Time.
Oh yeah.
Is Cynthia Lauper? When I looked it up, it said Cyndi Lauper, Lyndi.
Oh, I thought it was Cyndi Lauper. I might be wrong. All right. So anyway, I know who you're talking about.
Or maybe it's probably Cyndi. It's probably Cyndi. I spelled it wrong. I mean, my handwriting is horrible.
No,
it is Cyndi. I'm looking at my C and it looks like an L.
Yeah, and a great person to bring up because that's like the most 80s person ever.
I'm not editing that out either. It's gonna be Lindy for this whole time.
No, it's Lindy.
Yeah, Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time. You said she's very 80s influenced. I mean, not 80s influenced, but she's very 80s.
Yeah, she's very 80s. I mean, that's a person. I remember watching that We Are the World video.
Yes.
And when she comes on, like you recognize all these people, but then when she comes on, it's like, holy, that's 80s. If you open up the dictionary, it says 80s, her picture's right there. She's got that red, wild looking hair, and she's kind of a crazy, squeaky voice person, but their clothes are always like there's no other way to say it but 80s, just very 80s.
Yeah.
Like she was right place at the right time.
Yes. Man, every time I see that video, I've seen it like 17 times. I don't know last time you saw it, but like when you saw it, did you look at it like Michael Jackson was like, I really don't want to be here. Like,
Oh, he does not look. He does not look engaged at all.
no,
He
it's
was.
just
I think he was even by himself. I don't think he was with anybody
it's
else.
that.
Everybody else is singing the headphones. He's asleep. He's got the sunglasses on. He's literally closing his eyes, probably just singing. Just he didn't care.
Yeah, like these people do not care about the world. Like I'm rich enough. I know how this works. Half of this
Yeah.
money ain't even going to donate.
No. 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 They want him to buy the record, and they'll give a 1% of it to the foundation. And
I
yeah,
do
dude.
more
I
to
mean,
help
if you,
kids.
yeah, right, man. If they wanted to help the world at that time, if they had taken all of their money and combined it and then sent it to them, that probably would have helped.
Yeah.
But sitting there singing about it ain't doing much.
No, no.
No, no.
Another thing that I would like to touch on about the 80s were when it comes to music, the commercial and branding of it. At this time, they were still selling albums.
Mm-mm.
Um, have you ever like got a chance to look at like literally commercial for albums?
Like a commercial, like a TV spot where they're trying to sell somebody's album. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
No, I didn't know that was the thing. Is that real?
Go to YouTube, man. It is like I can remember semi because in the 2000s they did it a lot. Like I still remember a commercial for the Carter 2, and I still
Okay.
remember a commercial for I think it was a Master P album, and I remember seeing a commercial for that. But yeah, like they had commercials for like you should buy their album, and it would be like definitely a body double. Most of the time it wasn't them, but it'd be somebody dancing to the music. So picture like Apple commercials when they want you to buy the headphones, but that for somebody's album. Just people dancing no reason and being like, "Hey, get this album."
Oh my god. Oh, it reminds me of those like infomercials where they got the two people going buy this box set, and then it'll play like 50 different people's songs from like the 70, like 76 or something.
A lot
Dude,
of
that's
now that's what you call music type commercials.
right. Oh, exactly like that. Yeah, man, I know exactly what I'm doing the rest of the night. I swear to God, that's
I'm,
what
so,
I'm doing.
I'm sorry, bro.
I can't wait. This is gonna be the best. I want to laugh my ass off. This is gonna be awesome. Do you think they ever go back and look at stuff themselves? Like now that there's YouTube, do you think those old stars from the '80s ever look up their own stuff and go, "Man, I was the shit."
Either that, or they were going like, "Wow, I was broke. Why did I choose to do this?" Because like we're like low level comedians, like very low level comedians. But like
Lowest.
I can imagine like getting famous and like not blowing my money. But like let's say I just happen to lose my money out of nowhere and I go from like having like 5 million in my bank account. And it's like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that.
Oh,
I lose all my money. And now I get the phone call. Hey, you want to do Dancing with the Stars? I look at my bank account and I'm like, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I actually need to do this.
You're sitting there going, "Man, I really should have done that dumb shit I didn't want to do before." Man, I can't imagine being in a place financially where somebody's going to offer me like $1 million to do something. I go, I don't really feel like it. I can't imagine being in a place like that.
Oh no, me
I'm,
either, me either.
how could you? I'm a million's even too much. If somebody said $5,000, I'd be like, dude, yeah, I'm there. I mean, 100%. I mean, I just can't imagine being so comfortable. Some of these stars, I mean, I can't. Ugh, it's crazy.
I mean, like I said, like I'm so broke right now. If somebody was like, "Hey, you want to be in the sequel to the Tooth Fairy? $1 million." Okay, yeah. Let me do it. I can do it. I don't. I'll be in the sequel to the Tooth Fairy movie. Yeah,
Oh
Dwayne.
man,
What you want? I'm supposed to play Dwayne Johnson character. Yeah. I'm in there.
hey man, if you want me to, he can play himself again, and I'll just be the guy who spots him when he does when he starts lifting. I'll just spot him in the background. Like I don't even have to be in the front. I'll
Yeah,
do anything.
for $1 million. Yes.
I'll play the little girl. Put me in a dress. I don't care.
I will be. I don't care. They can have me doing something stupid. Like, all right, we need you to be Ozzy Osbourne's body double. Really? Okay.
Do I still wash my hair? No, I can't. Okay,
Do I
I'll do
stand
it
right
anyway.
here? Is this what you need me to do? You said 1 million? Give me that bat. I got the money to get it. Whatever I get from that bat, I got the money to heal. Um,
Coronavirus Part 2 starts in that movie where you have to bite the bat's head off.
Yeah, pretty
That's where
much.
that's where it starts.
Yes. Um, is there anything else you'd like to say about 80s music?
Man, just if anybody is sitting here listening to this going, 80s music, man, go listen to all of it. It's the best. I mean, I swear, I think it's way better than most of the stuff we have now. I'm not going to say all of it because I do like today's music as well, but I think it was a lot better back then. Personally, I just love it.
Nice, nice. I would agree. Um, is there anything you like to say to your fans?
Man, so there aren't any, but if there were one out there, man, I really appreciate you, and you need to send me some money, man. I'm broke. All right, I got bills. This shit's tough. All right, you see my backdrop? It's just blinds. I'm in my bedroom. My dad's in there cooking dinner. All right, I need some money. I got to get out of here,
Where can they follow you?
man. They follow me on Twitter. It's just Kirkland Manning on Twitter. I don't really do Facebook and stuff, but I'm trying to get more into that as I'm, as me and you both, we go on this comedy journey, see where it takes us, man. But yeah, I'll try to get more platforms for people if they, if I get more than one or two people who want to hear what I got to say.
Okay, cool. Thank you again for coming on to the podcast, and thank you guys so much for listening. Have an amazing day.
Thank you so much, man.